On this episode, Pat McAuley stops by.
Some must be destined for greatness. Heads been a waste and empty, vacant arrangement of mind-boggling lines. You calling me out as a crime? No falling off when I climb ladders of greatness. So patience, cause I be killing it, taking them through the syllabus. Whoa, there ain't no telling me no. This is irreversible. My rhymes cursing them, personal shots hurting them worse than a bomb vest bursting them. Whoa, cause when I spit it's a river that ricochet bullet flow until I strangle my thoughts angle and telling me no.
What's up, Cody? Create Your Purpose is episode 33 of the Create Your Purpose show. I'm here with Pat McAuley. This is extremely exciting. I've been waiting quite a while to, kind of sit down with you, talk about what you do, why you do it. Awesome. You have 30 seconds. The floor is yours. Give me a little synopsis on what you do, why you do it, and just who you are.
So I'm a real estate sales representative, as we go by. My job is to help people buy and sell houses. That's kind of the macro level. The reason I do it is I have a background in corporate negotiation. The corporate life was kind of sucking my soul out from inside me, and I had a great opportunity with Bose & Cox, a family-run business. Had awesome training, everything I needed to jumpstart my career in that, along with what I'd done in the past. I've been house poor, I've been not house poor, I've owned a business that didn't do well, I've had businesses that have done well, so what I wanted to do is transition what I knew into genuinely helping people and not just finding a house, because that can be kind of transactionary if you're working at it a lot. But what I wanted to do was mostly just help people find the place of their dreams, or at least start somewhere, and it's a scary thing to do. It's the biggest investment most times that anyone's going to do in their whole life. So it's just the idea that I can help be part of that. I've made lots of awesome friends throughout the way.
Built relationships with this community. That's awesome.
It's been awesome, and just being able to see people so happy, and it's not just them, it's their family, it's seeing their kids, place their kids can grow up, it's the barbecues people are going to have, it's the family members even that aren't using or buying a house or anything, just being able to say, hey, I really trust that guy who's really honest through the process, and that's what's important.
Let's dig a little bit deeper into, because maybe somebody out there today is saying, like, you talked about corporate America, kind of a corporate job, and you said it didn't work for you. And I think a lot of people relate to that, where it's like they're in a corporate job, they're in a 9-to-5, and they just absolutely hate what they're doing. They're doing shit that they hate. And and I talk a lot about that, put yourself in a circumstance where you can do something that you actually love. So I would love to know, hear what you think about that. Maybe somebody is out there saying that I want to do something something different. What advice would you have to that young entrepreneur?
Sure. So it's scary. The reason I went corporate, I'll be completely honest, is my family, the last business I did wasn't doing so well, and my family was kind of pushing me to have a real job and to have benefits and have a steady pay every 2 weeks and stop.
And that works for some people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And some people 100%. Love that, and some people find joy and fulfillment doing that. But
to be honest, working where I did before, I liked it for many years. You can get comfortable in it, and I was making money, and I didn't really have a worry as far as finances went. And what eventually started happening is I felt like I was a peg in a some kind of big thing that all I could do is move one step at a time into something. And for me, I was always an entrepreneur at heart. So I couldn't really see myself always being in that.
Was there a trigger point? Was there a point in time where you can remember within your journey that you kind of said was the shift happen? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was tempted. I was getting recruited by Bose & Cox for at least a couple of months, maybe even a year. They were clients of mine at my previous job, and I was going back and forth to Toronto. And really, it was just a certain shift in the way people were working that it became completely about driving numbers and not about who you are. And I always did good at even my last job. I did well at it, and it just turned into a get your numbers, and that's all we care about. And that's just not me. I like people to see that I work hard. And I like to, I don't mind the pat on the back the odd time because I do work. I work as hard as I can to, and as much as you'd say you're not doing it to impress anybody, you really do want people to know that you're there working hard for them because they're the ones paying you. So it was just kind of a moment where I realized I was just a number in my mind. even though it was a great company, at that shift in where they were going, I was just a number, and I just couldn't be.
Yeah.
So it was a scary thing going from having a good job like that to now going to one again where
So
you
how
have to earn everything.
like, you know, like one of the biggest things, like, you know, I've been trying to get like out with my audience is like, what are the practical steps that we can take in order to do that? So if somebody wants to do that, what is the first practical step that you took in order to make that happen, make that a reality?
Jeepers. Well, first of all, it's really quite simple in a sense. I just took a leap of faith. I just decided I can do this. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of scrimping on money, a lot of planning, and a lot of making sure that I can still keep the house, keep the bills being paid and stuff like that, but try this other thing out. So really it was just, to start it off, was a leap of faith. Just having faith in yourself that I can do this. The tough thing that I talk to new realtors about, and a lot of them have jobs already, and they say, you know what, I'm just going to stay at my 9 to 5 until I get doing well at real estate. It doesn't really work that way. Then you're only giving a quarter or a half of yourself to this thing. So you're not really taking the leap of faith. You're just trying to ease into it, and you never. I mean, I don't know every situation. I'm sure some people have done exactly what they want to do in their life by having their 9 to 5. Maybe they get kids and a wife at home. At the time, I had none of those things. So for me, it was just, can I feed myself? And do I have a roof over my head? And from there, it was just mostly just getting out and hitting the pavement.
So
you were worked.
You were in the spot in your life where you had the ability to kind of take a risk.
Yeah. And I think everybody does have the ability to take the risk. It's just the faith in yourself that you can jump off the edge, and someone's going to be there to catch you. And who's going to be there to catch you is yourself. You're going to be there to say, I can do this. Because we really all can do stuff. I know a lot of nowadays millennials get a hard time for just going out and saying, this is what I want to do.
Just go do it.
And sometimes you get a little older like me, and that's not always the reality. But if you do really love something and you study it and you want to be the best at it, there's nothing that can stop anybody.
You know, I want to go a little left field here, because I want to build upon that. Like, when I think about, you know, people that say that, you know, this is a young man's game, or entrepreneurship, or you know, you could be 40. Some of the people that started their businesses, most successful people, you know, Colonel Sanders is a perfect example. You know, the gentleman who started Grey Goose. Like, there are so many entrepreneurs that started so late in their day, and they still made it. You know, they put in the time, they put in the work, they put in the effort. You know, this is not a young man's game. You know, even though I'm a young man, this is, you know, this thing. Like your phone has changed absolutely everything. It's changed absolutely everything. So I want to go back right field and chat a little bit just about what you think the retail landscape within Peterborough, within Canada, looks like.
So in real estate, we're in a great spot here in Peterborough because we're kind of in a transition. We're almost like on the edge of being a commuter town. So what happens, like everything else, people come into Toronto and make things too affordable for Toronto, and everybody gets pushed out this way. The old news story that everyone in Peterborough who's paid attention to real estate hears is the 115 attaching to the 407.
Oh, I think everyone's heard that.
And that has been a game changer in our city for sure. Things have calmed down quite a bit now, and I mean, I always preface that by saying nothing's really going down. It's still steadily going up, but it's just not the same chaos as it was before. So for Peterborough at a level there, we're in a really good spot, and we'll be in a good spot for a long time, I believe. The country itself, I can't really talk too much to the country itself. I focus kind of from GTA to here and get a little bit of Ottawa's kind of where they're going.
Yeah, so like, you know, maybe let's talk about that. Like, what is the landscape of, you know, because a lot of the content that I post is very hyper local to Peterborough. You know, the business community. What does, like, you know, like, are people talking about what's like, because I hear that people are talking about the entrepreneurial community in Peterborough. Like, what are you, like, maybe from a retail perspective, a real estate perspective, what are people saying about real estate in Peterborough?
So it's a hot spot, and people are here prospecting. There's people from both cities. I've had Ottawa clients, I've had Toronto clients, I've had people coming up from the States. That's a little different because they're moving here for different opportunities. But a lot of people are coming to Peterborough. A lot of the stuff Peterborough has is different from other towns our size. We living here, we give it a lot of credit, and I always try to be a little bit of the devil's advocate and be like, there's got to be other cities our size that are like this. There really aren't as many that offer all sorts of nice restaurants, good shopping, all these different little niche things, theater, our arts community here is huge.
Thriving.
All sorts of people coming for that reason, and that's part of the allure. It's not a big city person coming going, I got to give up all this stuff to go to this little small town. They can have a lot of the amenities they get in a Toronto and places like that, just on a little smaller level, but they get all that stuff that's really popular right now. So,
where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years within real estate?
So
or just in life in general. You know, like,
well, that's a two-pronged deep question.
That's a deep question. So I love asking that question.
Real estate-wise, I got some exciting stuff coming up. Bose & Cox itself has some really exciting things happening.
No sneak peek?
I've got some really good other agents in the office that we're all like-minded people, and we're all trying to drive towards a little bit of a younger, more vibrant real estate office, and potentially teams breaking out of that. I'd like to be myself. It's a lot of people are great. They'll be a real estate agent, and that's what they love doing forever. I've kind of got to the point in my life where I want to continue to grow and be able to try new things. So maybe the next step for me is a team. I don't know. Maybe I start hiring 3, 4, 5 people, and we have agents that are out doing things. Yeah. I'd like to revolutionize the way some things are done.
And that's one of the things that drew me to you right out of the gate. Like, I was talking to Neil Morden, just like about the forward thinking. Like, I see that in you, like the forward thinking.
Thanks.
And like I just do. And like, it's unique when you see someone that just gets it. Yeah. From a social game, from like just a community perspective. You're doing it, and it's something I want to commend you to.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Me too. That's why I'm here. I see all the stuff you're doing. It's awesome stuff.
It's extremely unique. Like this community and just everything that you're doing in this community. I appreciate it. I thank you for stopping by on the show, and it means a lot to me. Yeah. And I'm sure it means a lot to our viewers as well. If you can comment, share this video, it would mean the world to me.